And we are live. So, hey, everybody. Welcome to, I guess this is Town Hall Reboot. We're calling it Tribe Town Hall. I hope that works. We have two special guests with us tonight, Bev Morrison and Guiding Delight, Derek Guthrie. Ohio is in the house, and we are really excited. We're going to bring the energy up. We're going to raise the roof on this because we got a lot to talk about. We're going to have some fun tonight, and we got a couple different sections. I think you're all going to be excited. So sit back, relax, get yourself some tea with me, and we're going to have some fun. I did have something that I wanted to say because we have some very interesting energies going on. But first, I want to do a little introduction so that you get to know everybody. Bev, we know Bev. Bev's been coming on the show for at least a year. You've been coming on my channel to do astrology. You've been an astrology student for most of your life. You've been drawn to astrology, but over the last 7 years, you've really taken it to a professional level and really been involved in it. So, all the links are already in the description box. I didn't get a chance to do banners for you guys tonight. I apologize about that, but everybody's link is in the description box. And if you want to connect with anybody, I also put their emails in there for you. So check that out. Everybody, Bev and Derek both offer sessions and session work. So I'm fortunate enough to know both of these Ohio beauties. And I've stayed with both of these Ohio beauties, and I've been blessed with these Ohio beauties. So it's such a really neat thing that the three of us are coming together. Thank you both for being on here. Derek, we have Derek Guiding Delight. He's a highly attuned galactic shaman, and he specializes in the energetic bodies. So he's a mentalist and thought form buster with a passion to share his experiences of heaven on earth. And we're going to talk about the heaven on earth code when we get to a little bit of numerology tonight, just a little bit. Most importantly, though, Derek is a family man who enjoys the dynamics of raising his 3 kids with his beautiful wife. And I can attest to the fact that she is an excellent cook. And I love his family. Such a wonderful family with your pets and your kids and your wife. It's just such a nice piece of property you have out there, Derek. He's just a country boy who discovered his higher purpose and now walks on the inner path. So please help me welcome both Guiding Delight, Derek Guthrie, and Bev Morrison, Astrologer. Yay! Welcome, guys.
Beautiful. Good words. Well said, sister.
Thank you for being here. And Genevieve and everyone watching us live, thank you. Feel free to leave some comments. We're going to get to the comments in the general discussion chat. But let's see. And now, of course, I already lost my train of thought that fast. We've got a lot going on. And I literally was helping my daughter move today. There's a lot of energies. There's a lot of transitions. There's a lot of cycles that are ending and new ones that are beginning. And I think with everybody waking up the way they are now, waking up, like everybody's waking up, right? It's a big term. We've heard it for the last couple of years, but there's been a lot of waves of this. With everybody waking up now, they're starting to pay attention to their thoughts. It's like one of the basic premise of getting to know thyself is getting to know your thoughts. And as this happens, you start to question, like, is this me thinking? Is this somebody else? Like, everybody goes through this process when they wake up. Getting to know your higher self and what you are and who and what you are as a body is not who you are. Your body is not you. You're not your body. But anyway, with that being said, as you're waking up, if you're taking the long path, and you're kind of getting to know your thoughts, and then you're questioning your own sanity, or you're getting, who am I? What's going on? Am I fractaled? Am I not? Am I whole? How am I doing this right? Am I praying? Am I not? Am I commanding? Am I asking? You know that phase where you're like, should I pray with humble respect, or should I command with the authority of what I am? We all go through that.
Yes.
So you just gotta get to know yourself and have your own relationships inside. Now, with that being said, Derek had quite a different awakening. We're going to get to that a little later. Was that right? We're going to do astrology first. You guys help me out.
Yeah.
Yes.
However you want to do it. We're good.
However
just let it flow, baby.
Let it flow.
You know what? Derek, why don't you just tell us a little bit first about, real quick, and then we'll get into
I thought it was interesting you spoke a little bit on the thoughts, because the thoughts and controlling the thoughts is something that's been very major key over the last couple of weeks, maybe over the last month, is how you handle your thoughts, and then how you use your thoughts to either motivate you or actually surrender, and kind of, if you don't use your thoughts in the right way, how it can bury you, right? And you can get lost in certain thought forms that are like limitational beliefs. and how quick, if you find that limitational belief and that thought patterns for some of these energetical sessions and remembrances that I've done with people, it's very interesting from a quantum perspective, how you can see that thought form, how it's spread out all over the place, and how it all just shoots up and disintegrates, and dissolves. And then that energy comes back down, and it's more energy, more power. And now you don't have all that circuitry of that thought. So that thought kind of disappears in a way. So it's very neat. But no, I woke up on the 2017. I was starting to get intuitive hits without even knowing it. And then the solar eclipse actually happened on my birthday. I believe that was 2017. That was August 21st. And when that happened, I had a very good inside feeling that was going to change my life. Now, I didn't know exactly how, but I knew. And, and I manifested that as well. I had that belief system that on this date, when this event happens, it's on my birthday. It's almost, I was still an ego a little bit. So it was for me, right?
Of
it was
course.
my event.
Just like that star shooting from the arrow right after you pointed to it in the sky. Yeah, that was just an exclamation point.
Yeah, that's just true magic. And we can get into that later too. But
personalized though.
Coming up as a normal life, I didn't really fit in with everybody. I wanted to be kind of friends with everybody. I didn't understand the whole groups and the cliques, and I tried to hang out with all the different cliques and groups. And obviously that made me an outcast by default, for whatever reason, the way the system's set up.
Yep.
But country boy, learn how to hunt and fish, how to provide for the family, farming, canning, just being a country boy really. And I thought I had this life figured out. Like I can pretty much do everything besides be a doctor and a lawyer, right? Thinking very linearly 3D. And then I was discovered into the consciousness. My pineal gland was starting to activate. And then I heard this snap inside my brain, and it was a big, loud crack. And ever since that crack snap happened within my body, the energies flowed through my body, and I've been able to see and witness that and kind of get into the quantum.
Wow.
I wanted all the answers, and I pushed really fast, and I went through my thought form progressions and a couple different fear tests. I was full of different fear. I lived in pride. I had my emotions on my sleeve, right? I was a very prideful man, rightfully so, because of the way I was raised. But to put that pride down and then come back into some forgiveness and really get through my thought form progressions was very critical in achieving that higher divine and the divinity within me. Fortunately enough, I was able to go through some of that and step outside of duality where, everything is one and we are just energy. And getting into a state of mind and a consciousness of that is when I really discovered I didn't know anything, right? So the humbleness of thinking you know it all and kind of being a know-it-all, right? I was probably arrogant at times when I was younger, but, having that whole progression and then understanding, okay, you don't really know anything. And then even with the spiritual journey, it's like coming into different aspects of myself and learning who I am from an energetical perspective and how close I am to the creator. It's very humbling, but in the same sense, as you pick up that information, you want to get in that mindset of, okay, I kind of got an idea what's going on here. It's like every time you have that moment where you're like, okay, I've got a grip on things. I think we all know we get shown what we don't. And
right.
Because I've had those moments flip back and forth, I've been shown a lot, and I went through a lot of different, progressions to put me in the position I am today. So, it's not easy, but if you want to go fast and you are very diligent and you focus on it, right? Like it's almost a part-time job or a hobby or something, and you're putting in your hours every week and really going through your mind and trying to keep your energies clear, over a course of what it's been 5-6 years, that's a lot of hours and a lot of intuitive work that I've done,
Yep.
Yes, going through some of the shadow stuff, and at times it hasn't been pretty, and acknowledging stuff that you don't want to acknowledge isn't always fun. But when you move past that chaos and deceit, and you really take a big glance as more of the oversoul over the the observer, and you really see how delicate and pretty and beautiful this life is, you actually realize you are on heaven, right? And that's what's beautiful.
Yeah. I think that's the unified state. I mean, coming into that beautiful state when there's no more false narratives, no more pieces or fractals out there. It's like everything's you know what? I think I want to save this for our general discussion because this is a great topic. Let's do that. I mean, it must have been something incredible though, to just have a snap and wake up. Like you get to see all of that right away. Like that. A lot of people are just working.
I started feeling first. I didn't see, but I was really good into feeling. And then I had a past progression through a Reiki session. I didn't even really, so I was going to this like Reiki 101 type thing in a church, in this like Amish community, which was mind blowing. It was in the middle of nowhere in this Amish community, but they were teaching Reiki. And I already knew at that point in time I was going to be a healer. I was a healer, and I could feel the energy coming off my hands. So I was putting that Reiki in with that. And as my energy was coming off my hands on that person, you know, it kind of lit everybody up that was touching them. And then it was like instantly they were all like, okay, it's your turn to lay down. Like we got to scan you, you know? And I could feel myself charge them, which was a very unique experience. But then after that, you know, happened, one of the ladies she saw a past life of mine, you know, having this power, a stake was driven through my forehead. And that's, you know, how I was murdered in that life. And, once I had that stake through my eye and relived that past life and went through that painful progression, I started, my vision started coming back.
Wow. That's so powerful, Derek.
Very powerful.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
humbling
that too. Yeah. Right. At the time, you know, when you're still mentally not stable and you're still a little bit in a chaos and you're trying to understand this past life and you're actually feeling the pain and there's a scar. Like I always call it my mark of my beast. It's still there. I mean,
like a birthmark this year?
With the low light. No, it don't.
I mean,
it showed up after the past life progression. And there's still a dot there to remind me of it.
I had one that showed up right here, and I'm not sure what it is too, but you know, when they say birthmarks are things that show up after you attain a certain level, is actually like your, you know, it's indicative of something from a past experience or simultaneous experience or whatever you want to call it. Hey,
I thought that's interesting. You said right there, I got to interject this and I'll let you do, but
yeah, go ahead.
I had one on each side just show up 2 weeks ago.
Did you really?
Like, wow. It's like a butterfly effect. Like they're perfectly, well, they're kind of gone away, but they're in the exact same location on each side. Like you can't make this up. But go ahead.
Yeah. I just wanted to say hey to Betty and Amy and Genevieve leaving comments, and I wanted to thank you for that. We're going to pick that up a little bit later in the general discussion, and right now I think we're going to be heading over to bed. Anyway, Bev.
That was a cool story, Derek. You know, I love to hear how people kind of find their way on the path. And it's funny you said something about that eclipse in 2017. I kind of started on the path, but that's what really kicked me in too. It was like from that point on, it was seriously accelerated. So that's interesting.
Yeah, it was definitely a light switch moment.
Yes, it definitely was for sure for me too.
Yeah.
Looking at the astrology, honestly, you know, if everybody's feeling the tension in the air right now, we've got Pluto's gone into retrograde and it's going back into Capricorn. It makes it does it on the 11th, which is Sunday. But you know, with Pluto, or excuse me, with anyway, let me back up here a second. I was looking at the wrong thing. Pluto going back into Capricorn at 29 degrees, and it'll be retrograde. You know, we had the USA's Pluto return, which was at 28 degrees. So we're going back through one more pass of all that with Pluto. I mean, Pluto came into Aquarius, you know, as a collective and taking things forward. We got about 3 months with that, and just got a little taste of things. But, you know, as far as what's going on, this is like the last Pluto doing the last deep dive of bringing up the rest of these secrets and things in the past, things that can't go forward. And, you know, talking about things like we are tonight, I think it's a time that we're going to see a lot of people reaching out more. I mean, it's been a little trickle, at least I've seen over the last few years, but I think a lot of people are really, you know, even people I talk to are pretty dyed in the wool in their beliefs and stuff. People are starting to step back and say, And I think, you know, more things are becoming apparent to people, especially through that Pluto, because there's going to be things in your life too. Pluto's a destroyer. You know, it's the phoenix rising from the ashes. So we still have that cleanup left to do there in Capricorn. It's going to hit, you know, on a collective level, which we're seeing, you know, as far as everything, but it's going to hit on a personal level too. And, you know, we had Saturn move into Pisces, and Saturn right now, it's just about 8 degrees into Pisces, and Saturn's about the responsibility. So, you know, we're looking at this as a cyclic energy. With Saturn there, it's saying be responsible. Pisces is the last sign. So Saturn's coming through and doing cleanup. and Pluto's backing up and doing cleanup and then going forward. So there's going to be a lot more that's going to come to the forefront. There's going to be a lot of people reviewing all kinds of relationships. We just had Venus is getting ready to move into, let's see, she's going into Leo. She's right behind Mars there. She'll be at 5 degrees. I'm looking at Sunday, by the way, when Pluto goes retrograde.
Sunday,
But,
okay.
yeah. So Venus is square in the North Node. And Venus is also is
you said she's at 5 degrees in Leo?
Yeah, she's squaring Jupiter and the North Node at the same time, because the North Node and Jupiter are still conjunct within 2-degree orb. So I think it's about looking at the things we love, the things we value, all the relationships. Even though it's in Leo, it's telling her, okay, what do I want to take forward? What's the drive? Where do I want to go from here? So it's that square saying, let's do it, and let's do it responsibly with the North Node and Jupiter. Because if you don't, these issues are going to explode. If a lot of people are having arguments, it's kind of a time to be quiet for a little bit and just let things settle. There's a lot of aggression out there right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
If nobody else has been feeling it, I've been a little testy myself, and really no reason. I don't know. It's just in the air is what I call it. I even looked at my chart, but
yes.
It's good you looked at the chart before bedtime, right? It's been all week, though, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been all week, but it was worse today for me.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Today was challenging.
Today was very challenging.
The pot boiled over.
Yeah. Can I point out, you said that was it 29 degrees Pluto?
29 Capricorn.
Of course, 9 + 2 is 11. That's the end of the gateway, and he's going backwards. So the first time he was there, that's the first 11. Now he's going backwards, so he'll pass again. It's like when he goes back again, it's passing through that gateway of the 11-11. The 11's the portal gate. It's a gateway. But when you have an 11-11, it's what's in between it, what's going through it, what has completed first to move through it. We'll talk about some of that in the numerology too.
And 29 degrees is a critical degree too, because the last 10 degrees of a sign is about spiritual mastery. So there's going to be many opportunities here to get rid of these last things, work through these last, I don't know if you want to call them character defects, or doing the dark night of the soul work, or looking at yourself honestly, which, it's been painful, but it's been great once you got through it, The
comment of the night, if I could make something really fast. Character
major defects.
Yes,
work on them.
Pretty much. But people are looking a lot at relationships right now. And also we've got Saturn too is, hang on here,
and this is for Sunday you were talking about, right?
Yeah, we're feeling these energies coming in, because when Pluto changes, a degree, and especially going back retrograde into another sign, it's all those RE words. And it's felt on a pretty big level. And going into Capricorn from Aquarius, it's quite the change. Capricorn's the earth sign and Aquarius is the air. So we're going out of the middle, and now we're getting back into more of the groundedness and what's below the surface. That's how I take that with Pluto and Capricorn.
Okay. That's a good way to look at it.
Seeing if
I had a little question in there. So I've always been really drawn to Venus, and Venus was kind of like one of the only planets that I would exclusively share energy with and actually have that transmission back and forth. But over the last couple of months, Jupiter's really came into my forefront, and I didn't realize how connected I was with Jupiter. So I didn't know if you could speak on Jupiter just a little bit.
Jupiter is great. I mean, Jupiter is a benevolent planet. It makes everything easier. It'll make things big. It'll sometimes exaggerate things for you, because I'm the type of person, when I tell a story, I'm going to exaggerate it to the nth degree just so you can get what I'm saying. So there's a thing of exaggeration there. It has a lot to do with dealing with dogma, spiritual beliefs, also foreign travel, higher education. But a lot of it, I think, is going to be looking at the religious. How do I want to say that?
Go ahead.
The religious institutions versus spirituality. And I think that's what's going to come a lot here too, with Jupiter being conjunct that North Node.
Okay. Yeah, I was very curious on that, because there's so much, a lot of wisdom and a lot of different thought patterns have been coming off of Jupiter. Exclusively been working with that and seeing how much of an influence Jupiter does have on your thoughts. I always thought that more of the influence came from Saturn, but for me in particular, it comes from more from Jupiter.
Be interesting to see your chart,
like learning.
Derek.
Yeah. I got
you
it
guys
right
need
here.
to connect. You need.
Yeah,
got
we
one?
do.
Look at that. Wait, is that a chart?
Yeah.
Wow.
What is that?
That's my
Can
chart.
you hold that closer?
It's some kind of artwork. You know, my program does a lot of things like that, but I haven't got into it enough.
Is that a star map from Sherry?
That is.
Yay, that's
it's a star map. Okay. All right.
I never
I've got mine hanging on the wall.
I thought she was going to do one for me, and I never got it. And I always wanted one. And Bev's is beautiful in person, and you can just meditate on that. It was actually, I did a promo for her once when we were doing some work together, and the codes were like moving through it. It was so cool. It was lit.
Yeah.
So
it's
multidimensional.
Yeah, I shouldn't just
don't
meditate.
fret, sister. Yours is coming.
Oh yeah.
I'll make sure. I'll put a word out to his sister.
Oh, it's all good. It's all good. I think they're really, when the time is right, things happen, and sometimes, things don't for whatever reason. And then when it comes around, it's even better. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So all good. Yes. All good in the hood.
Bev, listen to you guys do the astrology over the last, I don't know, it seems like you guys have been doing it quite a while now. And I don't always join on the live shows, but it's very interesting to see, because I don't pay much attention to the astrology. Maybe I could be a little bit more successful in my manifestations if I did. But I always like seeing how I experience it and then how you guys portray it. And then I'm always a little bit ahead of the curve. So I'm starting to pick up on it before it happens, so I can start to engage and attune to the energies to help, get it through the collective more fluidly. When I'm on that leading in front of the edge, I'm picking up on the energies, kind of feeling into them, and you guys are kind of talking about what's going to happen, and it's simultaneous, and it's very interesting. But
yeah, I would
actually be on the show with you guys as well.
When Bev is led to do something, and it's usually something like an eclipse or full moon or new moon, or just something like the Lion's Gate or something that's really powerful, Pluto's return, some kind of big happening. Every time she's led to do something, it's almost like we keep spiraling up with this. It's like she gets this information, spirit just speaks through her. I'm speaking for you now, Bev, sorry, but that's what it feels like to me. It just feels like it's always the right time, and it's never what you expect, but it's always better, it seems.
No.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It'd be interesting though, Derek, sometime, because I learned starting in my chart, the reason I started, I always had an interest in astrology, but being empowered with my chart and knowing the energies, because it's kind of like it's a picture taken in the sky when you were born, but you carry and embody all those energies, and you learn how to use them for the higher, and it really helps being empowered with your chart too. So even if it's not something you dive in too deep, just learn the basics maybe, I'd love to talk to you sometime about that.
Yeah, we'll have to set that up for sure. I do know I'm all fire.
You're all fire?
All three fire. Yeah,
okay.
All three signs are fire. And I'm a Leo, so
I got a Leo Mars.
Pretty good. Okay, cool.
Well, Derek, if you want, with your permission, after Bev does your chart, if with your permission, if you want to know the numbers too, I'll do the number end and send it back to her so that she can read the numbers for you. Read that down. I have fun doing that.
That'd be good. And then I could put on my page as a personal, this is astrology and numerology of who I am and how important it is to know this stuff, because it can help anyone on their journey, right? I always tell people, go back to the basics. Just if you're into astrology, cool. If you're not, then do numerology, because it's going to tell you so much about you. And then once you find your life path, it starts to make sense, but then you could still be well, I don't know how to find my purpose, And if you keep looking at that life path and then go to your destiny and, bring all those different paths together and put it in and really try to focus into that, I mean, it can help start making you go to more crossroads versus missing the intersections because you're too low or too high, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Because a lot of times we want to expand our crowns and really flow the energy through our bodies, but we really need to be, down there in the underworld picking a crossroad that's going to get us to where we want to be. And we kind of hide away and stay in our higher chakras at times. And I'm guilty of doing it myself when I was just getting started. So,
you know what? That's a good point. Let's see, astrology in your body and upper chakras. I'm writing these down because I want to talk about these a little bit more in the next section.
Sure.
All right. And
I don't mean to keep going on tangents.
No,
I'm feeling good.
You're doing great.
Got 7 people in the chat. Hello, everyone.
Yeah. Hey, everybody.
Hey, everybody.
It's bouncing around. And so we're going to get to the chat during the general discussion. I just pop over once in a while just to see if anybody else has left another comment. But I want to do a real quick thing here for you guys. I know.
Sweep.
Housekeeping, right? Boring. No, housekeeping. I have to do this because I've been doing codes over on my blog, rememberworldpeace.com. And I've been doing codes every day, or I've been putting like 2 days in advance. So you're not, if you go over there and you get them and you're looking for it today, I am so sorry. I didn't get to. My daughter was moving today. I had to go down to Jersey and it was wonderful. I'm happy, to have done that for her. It was a great time with her, but the numbers are not done. So I did them real quick for you when I got home tonight, and I'm just going to read it to you. It's not posted over there, and I don't even know if I'm going to post it over there. I don't know if I want to do this every day. So we're going to let Spirit lead this one. But let's just go through this real quick. And I'm not going to tell you the number for each number, what they mean. All right. I'm just going to point out a few things. Today is Blue Planetary Hand. It's Keen 127, which equals 37. Because the 12 is 2 + 1 is 3. So 127 equals 37. That's the heaven on earth codes. The 37 into the 73 is heaven on earth codes.
Okay.
And then 37 equals 10, which equals 1. So it's not just the independent one. It's the full cycle foundation one. Now we got planetary is the 10th of the 13 tones. So you know where I'm going with this one probably. It's the second 10 in this, because the heaven on earth codes, remember, was a 10, which equaled 1.
10.
Right. So now we have the planetary is the 10th of the 13 tones. So that's your second 10. That's a 10-10 gatal, a 10-10 gatal portway. Gateway portal gateway.
That sounds it.
I know. Its power is perfect. Its action is produce, and its essence is manifestation. You're talking about manifestation several times, Derek. Producing this in perfection. Think of 10 as the perfected number. Have the 1 through the 9, all the cycles. Now you're ready to do it again and move forward. Like what Bev was talking about, the rees. We've already done the rees. We're ready to go through that second archway in the 1111. Han is the 7th, lucky 7, of 20 seals, which is 720, which equals 9. Its power is accomplishment. Its action is know, and its essence is healing. Which is cool because think about it. If you're the 10, you've been through 1 through 9. You already know what they are. You know now from experience. It's an accomplishment to get through the whole cycle, right? And of course, the healing is releasing all those things when the 9 comes into it. So 720 equals 9. So there's your 9. There's your completion of your cycles. And let's say, don't we all feel that? The cycles are completing. We're ready to move through that next gateway. So that was the 1010 gateway. That was the numerology for today with the Zolkeen. I did not do it with gematria. I did not have time to do it with gematria today, but there you go. There's your codes.
That's interesting. I felt like some weight roll off my heart when you said the 9. You told my subconsciousness, no.
It just let it go. That's what we're doing.
Don't even get me on the Frozen.
On the what?
The Frozen stuff.
Oh, I actually wasn't going to say that, but I know what you're saying. Frozen, let it go. No, I mean, let it go. Like, just let it go.
Exactly.
All right. Well, I think we should just roll right into discussion time. Unless y'all want to play. Yeah, you know what? Let's discuss. Well, we'll discuss first. Jewish coffee talk lady. No offense. This is a Saturday night skit I'm referring to. Like, I'm a little verklempt here. I'm going to give you a subject to talk about. Sandwiches, neither sand nor a witch. Discuss. I did that with my mom the other night. She was laughing. I did it a little slower and a little heavier Bronx accent. So if you know, you know. If you don't know, oh well. General discussions. I want to talk about first astrology being in your body. Carl Jung, the archetypes. Bev and I had this conversation earlier in the week, and you just brought it up again tonight. So I wrote it down because we have to talk about this first. It'll springboard into everything else. The archetypes of everything. We're talking about your team, putting your team together, getting to know yourself, getting to know your higher selves. How many do you have? How many fractals, all this other stuff. Stop worrying about it. Look at the archetypes in astrology and see if everything on the outside is in the inside, then the same is true on the inside. You are the astrology. Every part of those aspects and archetypes are part of you. You can label one in the 6th dimension, one in the 7th dimension. You have dimensional selves, but they're each an archetype with astrology. And it just feels so like there's more. I know there's more to it because there are more than 12 archetypes, right? Or maybe not. I don't know. What do you guys think about that?
But look at the lower and higher expressions. So you have the 12, but then you have the duality in each one. So you really have 24.
Boom. Good point.
I would go beyond that and say you have all 12 in each dimensional aspect. So there's 12 different layers within each one. So you really got 144.
Wow.
Mind blown. Wow. Yes. That's it. That's exactly
Perfect.
144.
That's the 144 code. So the 144 warriors or whatever they always want to say, it's really that coming into all of those essence within you. That's when you unlock that God code.
Wow. Derek.
Thank you, Derek.
Wow. Would bring it. So I started.
I'll know that one for a minute, man.
Bev expanded.
Go learn that one and still go back to your 3D life, right? Oh shit.
Derek hit that home. Yeah, you are the 144. Every person is a 144.
Well, everyone has the opportunity, but
everyone
like I said, it takes going through each 12 steps of each 12 archetypes. And maybe we only want to go through a couple steps with one archetype because that archetype is painful to us, or and then the same says we might find an archetype where we run through all 12 of them and integrate, and it becomes a part of us like really quick, and that's what helps us kind of ease into some other ones because we have that strength and power behind us.
Yeah, and perhaps you've already integrated with that archetype in other experiences, so you're just remembering what you forgot you already knew.
Correct.
And it's the healing journey.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow. That's great.
We all wake up scared, afraid to express ourselves because we're afraid the boogeyman's going to come get us, right? I remember being terrified just coming on YouTube. It's like, oh man, they're going to GPS me and they're going to like drop a missile on my house. And it's like, they don't.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. No, we don't need that. All right, Derek, you were talking about being in the upper chakras. I know exactly what you're saying with that. There was a lot more work to balance with the lower chakras. It's easy to be up here. Oh, my throat is clogged. Let me work on this. Well, a lot of people don't have problems once they they open their heart and they're in the upper chakras. So can you expand on that a little bit more?
So what's kind of been intuitively to me is chakras, and some people who aren't very awake or in tune with their spiritual essence, they'll have flat discs. And then people who are starting to be on their journey will actually have a sphere. And then these spheres will have different geometry shapes within them. But the chakras kind of evolve as you and your consciousness evolves as well. So your chakras will change over time for different power flow functions within your energy. The way I like to describe it is your bottom 3 chakras are your most important because they're the only 3 that you can control. So you got your root, your sacral, and your solar plexus. The solar plexus is the I am presence. Your sacral, I'm still not totally attuned to what all that does, but I know it holds the highest frequency that your body's ever had. And then it also has your sacredness and that sexual energy. And then the roots are like the roots of a tree. So how rooted are you to heaven, and how comfortable do you feel in your situation? So obviously actions and stuff within the normal life in this 3D realm, we can alter how those 3 chakras react, right? We can empower ourselves. We can put things in place to give us a more sturdier temple where we live. But now when we come up into the heart, the solar plexus is like the power unit, right? So when we come up in the heart, when we expand the heart, we open the heart. That's like your decoder. That's your living through your heart. But that's what the bottom chakras, you can charge them up and manipulate them however you want. But until your heart opens up, can you bring that life force energy through your body? Really? I mean, you can trickle it as your heart becomes to open, but when you get that full flow of that energy going through your throat chakra. So yeah, the throat chakra is for communication, but it's also the gateway. So it'll turn back and forth for me. And it's like, okay, my bottom chakras are staying, my bottom chakras with my heart in there. And then my top chakras, I'm open for receiving. But if you turn the throat chakra and line it, now you've got all 7 chakras in a flow.
Wow.
And when
Toroidal field, right?
Right. And then the top three chakras, so the throat, the third eye, and the crown, those are three chakras that are controlled through your soul path and then galactically. So those three chakras are more powerful than you can imagine, right? And it makes sense why everybody wants to hang out there. I know my mind likes to be stimulated. So when I learned how I could open my crown up and keep my crown open, I was very stimulated. And I felt a lot of things, but then the voices started coming in. So it was like, okay, if I want the voices in my head to subside, I need to close my crown. And then my crown was like an old school radio antenna, right? And watching how it's evolved and created a lattice, and it looks almost more like a flower now. So it's very interesting how we use our chakras for sure.
Yeah, and my experience with the chakras as they're opening too, you start to see on your inner screen, if you're seeing quantum, and you start to see how they're connected to grid works, and you are rooted down into the grid work, and it goes even further down to the earth chakra and up higher to the soul star chakra. So it's more, and that's only talking about 9 chakras, the 2 in addition to the 7 you were talking about. There's more than that, but experiencing them on the grid gives you the power to be able to use your solar plexus as the power center and shoot out. You can Tai Chi and move energy and generate energy by movement of the physical body. And then you can push and intend and create all of that through the grid work, through your own, I guess, knowing of how you're connected.
Well, that's interesting. I've never charged my chakras and tried to connect to the grid like that. So I might have to try that sometime soon.
That's how I do my grid work. That's how it's like the grid goes through me. I'm part of the grid. And when I send it out, it's on an out breath always, because that's pushing.
Wow.
But your out breath can extend with your visual, your intent. So if you just want to cover your region, I wouldn't work on your region right away. I would just work on, your local.
No, sure. Yeah. We've been doing some grid work for quite some time.
You know how to do it. Yeah. Give that a shot. See if you come up with a new experience using your solar plexus to physically generate the power by movement, like Tai Chi, mudra in motion, but whatever, do that. And then send it out through the grids from the chakra. Oops.
Just a quick one, just to show everybody how multifaceted and multidimensional we are, and how everyone experiences things in different ways. When I do grid work, I like hold the earth in my hand, and then the grids light up with that plasma white, and I'm directed to go flow that energy. So,
oh wow. Yeah, they were telling me I was too out there. I wasn't anchoring in. So my galactic team made it very clear to me that I had to root down and anchor down. And the only way to do that was to become part of the grid. So when I make that intention, I keep my bubble like protected. So nothing can just come flying off the grid. Like if you want to send something from Ohio and you're sending it across the grid work to me, it's going to bump up against my bubble, and it's either going to get in or not get in. It depends on what the intention is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
But when you open up your bubble to send out, you are literally like a packet of you are a sunball. You are your own generator.
Yes.
Everybody can be a generator, but you are that
plasma fusion.
Yep. Right out.
Yes.
Yep. Cool
Life
stuff.
force.
Bev knows. Bev was doing some work, and you were doing some protective work. And it showed how true it was right away. I was teaching my daughter that, and I told her about your experience, and it was pretty cool.
It worked.
It worked.
And I did some more today and yesterday too.
So, Bev, what about
that?
Bev? What about you and your experiences with the chakras?
To be honest, I'm still kind of learning that part of it. I kind of dove into astrology, but I've noticed as my throat chakra opened up, a lot of people wish that it probably hadn't.
Speaking that truth.
Yeah, because, I've always kind of been that quiet person. I didn't speak up much, unless I was really mad and that it didn't come out in a good way. But no, I've just noticed as things are opening up and just feeling the energy and working with the energy and learning how to do that. Linda's taught me a lot about, setting up defense and stuff like that. But I don't know. I need to do some more meditation and working on stuff like that. But yeah, I've noticed a big difference, especially with the third eye opening. Some of that was a little scary at first, but I don't know. I kind of hear things more than I see things. if that makes any sense.
Yeah. Well, everybody has their own way of divinely unfolding. Why don't you guys drop that in the comments, how your unfolding took place and how your awakening took place? Was it fast like Derek's, or was it slow like me and Bev, like just over time? How did it actually happen? Well, Bev, did you awaken suddenly when you awoken? I mean, or is the path is more of like a turtle path for you, right? Or did you have
It kind of started out like that, but I had an experience. It was it must have been the Christmas of 2016. I went walking. I kept getting these migraines for 2 or 3 days in a row. And it was the visual. I was getting the, what they call the occipital, and you see the zigzags and all that. Well, I went walking in through to the living room, and in my mom's house, there was a big bay window, and we had the Christmas tree up there, and we had gifts sitting there. And I saw it looked like the haze when, the fumes come off the road. And it was like everything was about 3 inches up and to the right. I was seeing double. I looked at that and I thought, what the heck? Am I having a stroke? What's going on? I had to go sit down. I got really lightheaded and stuff. But from that point on, man, things have just taken off. And then when that eclipse hit too, it further booted me. That's when the astrology really came. I had been studying it and that, but I really took a deeper dive into it after that eclipse.
The 2017 eclipse, right?
Yes.
Oh, well, that's I saw a comment over here. Betty saying, I hope you're all having a great day. Amy says that's wild. She also, here, let me see if I can put this one up here. She said, I think this is when Derek was talking here. Yes, thanks for sharing mine. Accelerated 2017 eclipse season. So Bev, that's when yours did too. But the original awakening was 2012.
Well, I had that wrong too. That 2017, it was that eclipse, and it was that Christmas. It was the Christmas of 2017 that I saw that. And then from there on, it was just, no stop signs, no slowing down. Yes.
I remember crying and singing a Christmas song and just hearing the angels repeat the Christmas song, and like the joy that came through that year was just. We've been trying to match it every year since. The Christmas joy. It's our own little joke. Santa is real.
Yes.
Okay. And there's the Quantum Express to show you Santa is real.
Yes.
The Quantum Express.
I hear the Express. Yeah.
And you guys out there who know the Quantum Express, you know what we're talking about. It's the Quantum Express. All right. Well, if you guys have any questions or you want to leave any comments, let me see. Oh, Andrew. Hey, Spacetime Creator. He's saying, hi all, Linda and friends. I'm not going to put it up because it'll completely cover Derek's face on this one. I'm just going to read it for you there. There's 114 chakras in each acro type time sequence of pi of 0 gravity of 12 DNA tracks. This sets the tone to mechanisms to stargates of higher dimensional realms. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. 114,
I love how technical he is, man. He is like a technical powerhouse, man.
Yes,
right. He is.
And I'm sure he's still doing. I just popped on his channel the other day just to see if he was still doing his school. So I wanted to mention that as well. If you guys need to learn about anything in the galactic force, go over to Andrew's channel. It's Spacetime Creator, all one word. You can see his comments in YouTube and check him out every day. This man does not stop. He just works, and he shows up for you so that you can learn. So you may not understand everything he's saying, but you will pick up the nuggets that you need. And
and you will feel it. Even if you don't understand it,
you will.
I had that experience. Yes. Back when your channel first went on, Linda.
Wow.
I started watching you.
I was just thinking about some of the shows that I had in the past. And that was the Galactic Force team we did. We hosted Andrew's Galactic Force team. And then Holy Bird Tribe was one. Shout out to the Holy Bird Tribe. Absolutely. And then we had the 144 Roundtable, which was a lot of fun. And now we have Tribe Town Hall. I don't know where it's going. I don't know if we'll be back again. I have no idea. This was just spirit led. And if it comes back, it comes back. If it doesn't, it's okay. Because we're going to be, we're just moving. We're moving what spirit tells us. Yes. Which brings me to, let's play a game. You want to play a game? Uh-oh. They're both saying, uh-oh. Hang on. Hold your horses here. Hang on. It's not a fight. It's your right to choose. So we're going to play Would You Rather. I've got 12 or 13 questions here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10,
Awesome.
12, 13. We got magical 13 questions.
Oh, there we go.
That's my number right there. I've been 13s and 3s have been so special lately.
Okay, now we're going to make it interesting. So we're going to put D here. We're going to put B here. We got D and B. I'm going to read the question, and whoever raises their hand first gets the answer, gets the point, and you're both going to answer it. You both get to answer, but whoever raises their hand and answers first gets the point. And you can't answer until I'm done asking the question. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Would you rather have heightened sight or heightened hearing? Bev.
Hearing.
All right. So point for Bev. How about D? You still get the answer, but you don't get the point.
I think I'd take sight because my body can still feel the vibration.
Okay. Now remember, there's no wrong answers, but you still have to answer live. So I know you got to wait a second to raise your hand. Like, which one do I want to pick?
I
What's
can give my critical thinking of why I chose it. I feel like that's important too.
Oh, you can totally explain why you chose it. This is a free for all here, right? Would you rather take a train or a bus? Derek.
Neither.
Neither.
You
No, if I had to choose, I'd pick a train.
Well, neither, because I get why you said neither. I really do. That's
Yes,
okay.
Yeah. Public transportation, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right now, not too good. Okay. Would you rather eat peppermint or butterscotch? D.
Peppermint's no good, so butterscotch.
Oh, wait. So you have 2 points now, right? What
Yeah.
was it? Peppermint or butterscotch?
Butterscotch.
Butterscotch. How about you, Bev?
Butterscotch.
All right.
Hey, we agreed.
I disagree with both of you on that, but that's okay.
You
my
can have
right.
your candy canes.
I'm like turning
Yeah.
old because I carry around peppermints in my pocket. I admit it.
Are they the red ones or the green ones?
They're the striped old person ones.
The red ones?
No, the ones in the little wrapper that have the red and white stripes.
Yeah,
Just like the flag. Just like
Yeah,
the
I
flag
like
right
the
here.
ones that have the green and white. Those are interesting, but I think that's
Never
more like
had
a
those.
spearmint.
I think I know what you're talking about. Are they the ones that have the chocolate and the mint? The
No,
brown
they
and
look
green?
just like the ones you do, but they're green instead of red.
Spearmint.
I don't-
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I
think it's
don't think I've
spearmint.
seen those. Maybe that's an Ohio thing.
It could be.
All right, we just did peppermint, right? Okay. Would you rather sacrifice an arm or a leg?
Go ahead, Bev. Even the score.
Oh, they're playing nice.
Let's
we
say
get
an
to the one.
arm. Let's say an arm because I sacrificed a leg for a while. That was not fun.
Yeah, I'd take the arm too. You know, being a tall person and having the leg pain that I've had, and yeah, it's a lot easier to walk. Yeah.
Okay. Would you rather fly or would you rather teleport?
Oh, isn't that the same thing?
No. Flying is like Superman. Teleporting it. Go ahead. Dave.
I'll take teleportation.
Yeah. All right. I would take both. You
Teleport.
can't have both. Teleport? All
Yep.
right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Number 6. Would you rather do yoga or meditate? Bev.
Meditate.
Yep, me too.
All right. Me 3. Would you rather, I just asked that. Would you rather be a cat or be a dog? Dave.
I'm a dog lover, but I've got a lot of best set in me, so I'd have to say I'd be a cat.
Dog.
I don't like cats as much. Though.
Like I knew
Yeah, I
what you were
don't
going to
like
say.
cats.
I love cats. I hated them when I was younger. I just had to resolve that Lyran part of me. All
I
right.
think
Would
just
you rather
to clarify that too, though? There's so many different broad spectrum of cats. There's cats that are very
Yes.
multidimensional, and then there's cats that can't even find the litter box, right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
there's a difference there. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to be a smart cat, not a dumb cat.
Right.
I'll take a
All
cat.
right.
Smart.
I think I know what you both are going to say on this, but let's see. Would you rather publish a book or publish a song?
I think I'd pick a song.
Well, since you spoke first, we'll
Oh,
give you the
my bad.
point on that.
I got to raise my
That's
hand.
fine.
That's good.
Same with me. Song.
Uh-huh. All right.
Back in my
Would-
high school days, man, I did a lot of rap battles and stuff. That was always fun for me because it was like an expression through poetry with the beat.
Exactly.
Yes.
All of
And
my poetry has a beat when I do it, when I do my performance with it. It's a performance to show the accordance. Like it has a rap and a rhythm and a rhyme.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it's all good.
I'll never forget I was at a party, just a little short interjection, but I was like, we're in Preble, Tucky, and I'm feeling lucky. And it didn't matter what I said for the next 10 seconds. Like everybody just lost it. It was so cool.
That's great. Okay. And then we have, would you rather teach a class? Oh, you guys there? Did you just go? Oh, my screen's doing things. Okay, we're back.
Okay.
If we went out, we're back. If we didn't, that was me. Would you rather teach a class or be a student?
Easy, teach.
Mm-hmm.
Teach.
Good.
Yeah, teach.
Oh, right.
I always try to tell the teachers how to do their job when I was in school, so it caused a lot of trouble.
I was told, my parents were told when I was in 3rd grade that I would lead a revolution one day.
Man, what you've been set up to do. This is beautiful.
Yes.
All right. So, would you rather learn how to tap dance or learn how to rock climb?
You got to catch up, Bev. Go.
Yeah, you got to catch up, Bev.
Rock climb.
All right.
Me too.
I'm a tap dancer, just so you know. Old
my
school.
Big feet. I don't think my big feet would do good.
I don't know if I can still do it.
I don't have that coordination. No.
I wear a size 15. Do they even make tap shoes that big?
Oh yeah, they'll make them as yeah. Did you ever see what was that guy's name? Not Sauvignon. Help me out, guys, in the chat if you know who that tap dancer is. Who I want to say he was on Sesame Street. Beautiful man, a curly hair, dark skin, or dark light skin, or light dark skin. And he's such a good tap dancer. His name begins with an S. Let me go over in the comments and see if anybody's dropped that. Okay, no, drop the name if you know. I want to say Sauvignon, but I know it's not Sauvignon. It's something like that. He's the most incredible tap dancer in the world. He's just like a machine. All right. Would you rather sleep in a tree fort or sleep in a cave? Go ahead.
I take a tree fort.
Bev?
I'll take a cave.
She said
cave.
You
are? Well, I'll take a cave.
Sometimes we just need that quiet darkness, right?
Yes.
Okay, last one. This one's going to be a little more challenging, I think, but I'm curious to see your answer. Would you rather help just one person reach their full potential or help 100 people change their perspective?
That's a good one.
And
Yeah,
Bev, you can't catch Derek, so it doesn't matter who goes. Just answer when you get your answer.
Oh man, I thought she was gonna tie it. Daggone it.
You can answer it with an explanation if you want. If you're reasoning, would you rather help one person reach their full potential, or help 100 people change their perspective?
And that's a hard one.
I think personally, by already achieving both, the one person is a lot. There's a lot more into that. So I would say affect 100 people because that can be a quicker thing. Helping somebody all the way through their journey is, when we all take 2 steps forward and 1 step back. So watching them repeat some of their mistakes is sometimes painful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about you, Bev?
I agree. They help the people change their perspective.
Okay, Amy said it was Sauvignon. I'm not saying that right. Say that. Sauvignon. I knew it began with an S. I just can't get it. How do you say that? Sauvignon.
It's close enough for me. I'm dyslexic as all gets. So
Sauvignon. All right. So there is a tap dancer out there with the name S, and I believe he was on Sesame Street. But anyhow, Sauvignon Glover. Yeah. Is this Glover's child?
Glover. That sounds familiar.
Is it Danny Glover's son? Or the other guy, wasn't he on Sesame Street too? Amy seems to know. Thank you, Amy, for answering. I appreciate that. I'm actually going to take the devil's advocate position with you guys on this one, just because you got to understand why this was coming in. If somebody reaches their full potential, they lift their entire lineage of at least 7 generations now, they're saying, going forward and backward. And that is just 12 generations, I believe. Just 12 generations alone, not 14 if you do 7 back and 7 forward, but it's over 4,000 people. There's a lot of people in your lineage. So if one person liberates themselves, they help like 1 million people. They help so many more but yours could also snowball, but you can't guarantee any of those 100 people just because they change their perspective will reach their full potential.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to take the other side on that one for that. All right. Well, that completes the game, and D1 was buzzing in first. Sorry, Bev. Thanks for playing. No trophy for you. We only do winners here. No, I'm just kidding.
Don't get me started on that. God, don't get me started.
I'm just kidding. Wait, I got to hide that one. There we go. All right. Let's come over to the comments, see if anybody has any questions. Yo, where did it go? All right, guys. What do you got? What do you got going on? You got any? Let's do. We've been on for a while. We've been on almost an hour.
What's going on?
Yeah, we've been on for almost an hour now, about 55 minutes. So this was going to be a 30 to 40 minute thing. So
I know when you put 45 minutes down, I didn't say yes or no because I knew once we got going, it was going to be hard to stop.
It is hard to stop, but I'm gonna do it this way. I mean, if we keep spinning off, we do, but I want to see what you guys have from spirit. Just take a deep breath. You can call it closing thoughts if you want. You can call it. As a matter of fact, here I've got something for y'all. So
I'd like to do a little recap before I go into closing thoughts. But I like that sound bowl.
That was my crystal singing bowl. I'm just
ringing in the new.
okay. Okay. Now, Derek, you were talking about a recap. So, did you want to do the recap, or do you want me to cover? Do you want me to cover that, or how you feeling?
There's a couple of takeaways from the conversation tonight. It was the thoughts and how they're breaking down. I think she said a little bit on that on the astrology side. I forget exactly what aspects that was doing it, but I think it's very important. I've been seeing that for myself. And then the aggression. The aggression was funny. I had some people want to take their aggression out on me, and it was like I had to stand tall because I couldn't, sometimes you have to stand up for yourself because if you let somebody walk all over you, right, they'll just continue to walk over you. So it was challenging because, want to be humble, don't want to really be aggressive, don't want to lower myself to that person's perspective. But in the same sense, I got to stand tall on my ground. So the aggression definitely was felt and seen quite frequently throughout the work week, which I thought was very interesting. And then the quote of the night was your major defects.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I was short circuiting quite a bit. I think I still got a few,
See, I don't think you're the only one. I really don't. No, I feel like there was a lot of people that were feeling it this week, as we were talking earlier. And it was, I'm usually pretty steady, pretty stable, pretty solid, pretty peaceful, and I still have certain things that will come up that need to be healed and looked at, certain defects. I love it, Bev. But yeah, I was in the feels all week. It's been since the full moon for me. And then the 6/6 portal, and all week it's been very emotional, and it's okay because I see it. I know what I'm feeling. I know why I'm feeling it, or at least, if it's sad, I can identify it. Say, yeah, I'm feeling sad right now. It's okay to cry. It's okay. And just let it flow through because, it has to come up and out.
Releasing, right.
Release. Yeah. They're being released from the planet on a major collective level. So if we allow that to be released, if we allow that release to happen and just let it go, I'm getting all kinds of movement through my legs right now. This is major grid work that's going on through the collective. And there's a lot of people that are saying goodbye to things they didn't need because they got the assist. Some people don't even know they got the assist.
Right.
And so they might be the ones acting out because they're not consciously aware and awake to what's happening, what's going on as these releases are taking place. They're getting assists like all over the place. And, you know, if you're consciously aware of what's happening, you can assist it even more and then intend to send it out even greater. So these assists are exponentially growing in light. So when one person recognizes what they're going through in their process and they honor that by allowing their process personally and then wishing it for the all, we'll call it wishing it. You can send it out to the grids. You can use whatever terminology you want. But when you're doing it for everybody else, it's exponentially building on each other because everybody's speaking the same language now. Maybe not Andrew's language, but everybody's still speaking the same language now. And Miashu Light Healing, thank you for joining us. That's awesome. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you know when we go live and the bell for notifications and all that good stuff. Bev, how about you? You've had a rough week too, sister, haven't you? Emotions.
It comes and goes. Yeah. You know, I had a couple emotions, you know, a couple songs, new songs I heard, and I went down that lane a little bit. But yeah, just being irritated, not knowing why, being restless, but not interested in anything enough to do it. You know, I went away and visited my sister one afternoon and had a really good time and came back. I was in a better mood. I got up this morning and it was back. I said, no, this is not right. You know, but yeah, it's just been, you can feel it in the air. It's just the restlessness is big time with me.
I heard somebody talking about you're either going to, and I hate, you know, that's why I did the would you rather, either or. I'm poking fun at duality. So if you don't get that,
right.
that's what I'm doing, because somebody said you either are really getting feeling great with all these energies, and you know, some people feel good and some people don't. Well, there's an in between to that. There isn't just either or. And like, for example, I'll tell you, I cried myself to sleep the other night. I was feeling all kinds of things, and it was everything. It was my son passing. It was certain situations that are going on, and my dad's getting ready to cross. And you know, the other family has been through some very challenging medical things. Try to keep privacy here. And there's some really heavy stuff that's going on, and you can feel sorry for yourself. That's one way to be stuck in the sting, is what I like to call it. You don't want to be there. When you're feeling your emotions, if you're feeling sorry for yourself as, oh, woe is me and poor me. Yeah, it's going to be really bad. But if you feel it and you know you're feeling sad, you can identify this is sadness, and it's okay. It's okay to feel grief.
Yes.
It's okay to feel sadness. It's okay to feel depressed or irritated or aggravated or like, you know, I hate everybody right now. Like, it's okay. It's okay to go through that, because you're releasing things you didn't even know you had to release, and then it's gone. You allow yourself to feel it and feel it fully.
Don't stay there.
Yeah, don't stay in this thing.
You.
And it's funny because, you know, I woke up this morning at 3:33, and then as I walked through the house today, and there it was again, 3:33. So I'm chuckling. There must have been something to whatever I was dreaming I couldn't remember last night, and then, you know, just the experience of the irritability of the day. So
333, Divine Trinity.
Yep, that's my life path number too. So it's
master teacher.
Awesome.
33 is a master teacher, and you got it tripled, and your triple is the Divine Trinity. Yeah,
Divine Trinity. Yep.
And we talk about balance to duality. It's actually, when you balance the duality, what do you have? 1 + 1 = 3.
3. Yep.
Your Divine Trinity. It's not 2.
No.
It's not. I know there's people thinking it's 2. It's really not 2.
Yeah.
Where did she go to school?
Galactic school. Betty Riley saying it took a long time to realize she didn't have to stay in her feelings. I'm only moving that quickly because it's blocking Derek's face on my screen when I put that up there. So yeah, that's right. And you know what? It's okay to feel it. It's okay. You don't stay in your feelings. You don't like negate them or deny them. They're there. You're supposed to feel. Anyone who tells you you're not supposed to feel is just lying to you. It's a big lie.
And I feel like if someone is suppressing right now, that suppression pressure is building up, and like in a pressure cooker, the more the pressure gets, the more it's getting cooked up. And like I said earlier, it's like the water's boiled over the pot, right? And I feel like we're at that pressure break point, and it's going to be really interesting how some of us shift who, left the steam come out versus some of the people who held that in. And I think, like I said, we're kind of at a crossroad, or really more like a fork in the road. And it's going to, we're going to go this way. They're going to go that way. We're all going to meet back in November, but it's going to be interesting to see how the people who take this journey and how life changes for them, and versus the people who take this journey and how, life treats them as well. So,
yeah. And it's
always those choice points that's coming up, Derek. Those choice points there with that Pluto going back into Capricorn and finishing up that last couple degrees again.
What date is that on?
Actually on Sunday.
Okay,
it goes back into Capricorn retrograde.
Yeah, I'm feeling it's here.
Betty, you're not the only one. She's still learning how to work through her feelings. You're not the only one. We all do. You just learn at different levels. Just identify them as the most important thing.
Getting comfortable in your vulnerability. So you just putting that on there is showing that acceptance and wanting to go forward. So
Oh, she's moving forward. This girl, I need to get her. Are you almost ready, Betty? Is Betty ready? Betty has the most incredible story ever.
We gotta hear it.
I know. I can't tell you. It's her story to tell. I would love to tell you. I could tell you everything about it. I met her right after certain things happened, and it was so incredible. And just, oh my God, you've come so far. We'd love to have Betty on here. And Betty, you contact me when you're ready. We'll get you on. And if you don't want to, it's okay. But if you come on here and you're poking around, I know, I'm going to keep poking back. Come on, Betty. Black Betty. I'm going to play that song for you when you come on.
Black Betty. That's a good one. Oh, well.
It was a good one.
It's got some great rhythm to it, doesn't it?
Yeah. You really get your energy into it. It'll go.
And you guys, I brought up song too, because I know both of you, song touches you and all that in your own ways. But there's just something about connecting with your galactic self. I'll call it your galactic self for lack of better words of saying this one, that one, whatever. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Your higher self in the galactic field. Music, they love music is because there's harmonics. Everything is tone. Everything comes back to sound.
Harmonics. Yeah.
So when you're, and I'm gonna share this with you guys. Some of you probably already do this anyway. So I'm probably preaching to the choir for some of you, but for those that don't know, when you're putting a song on and you're in the feels, you can code the song with your quantum feelings. You just have to turn on that vision. You have to turn on that inner screen. You got to open it up. You close your physical eyes if you need to concentrate and see yourself like Mickey Mouse throwing those things around in Fantasia. See yourself playing those quantum instruments. Exactly. Send it out. Nothing can touch you at that point. Become that galactic wizard of creation. And make everything that you send out with that song, you're going to code that song. So when you're listening to that song, you're infusing that creative that you're creating, you're infusing all of that into the song, then add the bonus point at the end. It's like a 1, 2, 3 process. At the end, your intention is that anytime anybody hears that song play, they will get the download. And it's that simple.
It's funny. I did that with Astronaut in the Ocean and Dance Monkey, and boy, did those songs disappear off the radio like that.
Stairway to Heaven, Boston. I can't tell you how many encoded songs, but yes, it's a great way.
Yeah.
And
I
it's
definitely
interesting.
feel that Stairway to Heaven when somebody does it acoustically over like a campfire or something. Oh, that'll move you.
Yes.
Hotel California was another one.
Oh, big time. Big time.
I actually drank a virgin Bloody Mary at that hotel.
A what? Bloody Mary?
On the beach and watched the sunset when I was in vacation as a kid.
Yeah.
California.
Wow. Oh, wow.
I wasn't even in tune. I didn't know. That was a really cool experience.
Yeah. So we should ask Andrew in the background there, Andrew Weston, if you hear this, if you're still listening and you can bring some of those songs back that we've coded that have been dropped out by, the AI or whatever. If you can bring them back online, that would be really great. Just a little assist with that would be awesome. Thank you, brother.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
Yeah.
And if Linda, if you wouldn't mind about a 2.5, 3 minute injection here, I pulled some cards, which is kind of very telling with what we're going to step into.
Yes.
And these cards are for Monday through Sunday of this coming week. We could say it starts on Sunday. So like we said, with the astrology and everything, it's just very interesting. But the first card, we got action. And right away with the action, it's like not only putting action into your life and putting something, but also a little bit of action spiritually. You see how the black horse is kind of behind the white horse? Take the action to get the white and the black horse to run together. So that's like pulling out the stuff that you've been struggling with and maybe some of those emotions and those thoughts and getting them more into an unbalanced state so that that black horse can catch up with the white horse, because the white horse is the all pure, all knowing, right? And a good way to do that is appreciation. So appreciation is kind of the power card. Use appreciation to get you out of that lower vibe, out of that lower mindset, and to move forward. As we use our appreciation, it helps us to do what? Walk away. So it's time to walk away through appreciation. So get in that gratitude, get in that appreciation, and walk away. If you notice, when you walk away, what are you walking in through?
A gate. I was just going to say that's a gate, isn't it?
Yes.
Absolutely. So by you not wanting to walk away is keeping you from going through that gate, and it's a 10-10. And I mean, there's a lot of powerful energy right now. So if you're struggling or if you're on a little bump, just go back to appreciation and put the action into it.
That's perfect.
Nice.
Thanks.
And I believe that, hold on.
You know, it was only supposed to be 45 minutes.
I know. The power was perfect. The action was produce and know.
Oh
so
my
if
gosh.
You know, right? That's today.
No,
That's
I just said that at 11111.
Nice.
When I said it was only supposed to go 45 minutes, it was all ones across there.
I love it. I love it. Well, that's your Pluto is also at 29 degrees. That's also your 11. We've got 11s. We've got new beginnings. We've got heaven on earth codes. We've got 13s. We've got 9s. If you aren't seeing the numbers yet, you're gonna start seeing them.
Somebody pay attention to the threes though, because we're in the third year, and then you guys were talking about last week with the 13s and the 3s, and I'm like, that's my wheelhouse, right? And so I don't always go out, but my wife and I, we had an opportunity without the kids to go out, and she always loves playing those pull tabs, and like I'm like, I ain't wasting my money on that. Like normally Spirit doesn't even let me win, right? And I think she played like 10 or 15 and didn't win. And I looked at my wallet. And I was like, because I felt an itch to get some. I looked at my wallet, I had exactly $3. I said, give me 3. And on the third one, I pulled the ticket and there was 3 winners, and I won like $150 or something. It was just like, wow.
Okay, well, Derek, this is for you. 13, manifestation, transitional, transformative, similar to 4 with solid foundations in the physical, tangible outcomes, practicality, dream fulfillment, independence, self-sufficiency, self-expression, charisma, powerful. Although some people consider 13 to be an unlucky number, probably due to its association with the 13th card in tarot, which is the death card, many other people consider it to be very, very lucky and quite powerful. Those who consider 13 unlucky simply do not understand that the representation of the death card is the multi-dimensional, and the death occurs every time just prior to a new cycle begins. More often than not, the death card speaks guidance to the transition for the beginning of a new cycle. It absolutely could portend an actual physical death as well, so great care should be taken when you're reading and interpreting cards for anybody if this shows up. That was in my very last blog post. That was my download from Spirit about 13, and it was the first time I did 13 since I started coding. And that was quite a long download on the number. It was really powerful because the 3s kept coming up, the 13s kept coming up. There's certain things like 77 and 777, and there's certain codes that just keep coming, and they're just right there. Everything's aligning so beautifully. So we just have to keep moving forward and upward.
Yeah, I know I can go on tangents forever, but the manifestations, like how many manifestations came into my life over the last weekend in that full moon. I mean, I could give you 10 different examples. It was just very empowering. And, some of these things I'd wanted for a couple of years, but it's very interesting how this has all come to me now. And then it's like, I got this opportunity to manifest, and I could have multiple manifestations, but we're going to keep it to just a couple. And that way, you know, I've been back and forth where you almost ask for too much, and then the universe doesn't know how to provide it because you're wanting too many things at once. So if you can pinpoint it and be very intuitive and decisive on what you want, and just keep it to those two things until you achieve them, it'll come a lot quicker.
Well said.
I'm the master at chasing multiple rabbits and having multiple irons in the fire. And as I slowly remove the irons and hammer them out, do I reach the clarity of how important it is to give the universe a clear message.
Okay, you don't want Bev anywhere near that fire with an iron.
No.
Yeah, she likes to play with sticks, long sticks in the fire, and poke the fire, all like little pyros with the campfires.
Oh yeah, then you got to like walk around like you got your little torch.
She forgets that she has it in her hand though, and there's other people sitting there, and the stick goes and it just flies.
Then you got to start twirling it around for like a little laser light show and the smoke. Oh yeah, totally.
That's what I should do, but yeah, I forget, and I talk with my hands too. So yeah, it just kind of happens.
That's great. Bev, do you have any final thoughts you'd like to share with everybody? Anything coming from spirit that you want to share?
Not really. Just prepare for the next few days. It might get a little rough, but feel those feelings, let them out, because once you do, it transforms. I learned the hard. You try to keep things down and not deal with it. As soon as you actually deal with it, you think, damn, that was simple. Why did I not do this before? So just know that everybody's going through this right now, especially with that Pluto backing up there into those last degrees. It's a time for spiritual mastery. So make those choice points count, and just, go inside and find what you need within yourself to make those decisions. You know what's good for you and what's not. Just listen, tap in.
Awesome. Thank you so much, sister and brother. If you guys want to get with Bev or Derek and connect with them directly, the links are in the description box. I think you just have to hit more down there if you can't find the description box. I know somebody had trouble finding one. Just look down there. It'll say the word more. Click that and you'll read other links. You'll be able to connect and email them if you want. So I just want to thank everybody for being here, especially you and Bev and Derek. I'm like you. I'm looking at you on my screen going, you. Bev and Derek. Ohio is in the house tonight.
Yes.
Represent.
Yes.
What's the name of your team? The Ohio team? What's the mascot?
The Buckeyes.
Buckeyes.
Like the Eagles as the Super Bowl champions.
Yeah.
We'll see how cool you are after Joe Cool gets one.
Yeah. Okay, we'll see.
No, I want to thank you too, Linda, for bringing me on. It's just going live by myself is kind of hard sometimes for me because my mind flows so many different directions. So being on here with you guys and kind of having, the synergy, it really helps me out. Yeah. I look forward to doing very many more, even with you and multiple other people as well. I feel like this is what my soul needs, is the ping pong off of people. So appreciate the opportunity.
Okay, well, before we close, guys, go over to Derek's YouTube channel. And I don't know if you've put one out since the call. Is that still on there? Was that like 2 days ago or a day ago?
Yeah, I haven't done anything since then.
Okay, it's Derek's last video right now. He's putting a call out and he's looking for, a very specific amount of people or double that. Like, it's funny enough, 12 or 24. Isn't that funny? That came up again. So go over and check that out. It's not a really long video, but he hits the points. Like you just can't stop watching, man. You're just on.
My soul really wants to express, and
it does.
I don't know how to. And
you're calling forth your tribe.
I'm stuck in this 3D dimensional reality, which I'm okay with, and I've learned how to be fluent and multidimensionality at the same time. But I'm in multiple different chat groups and multiple different soul groups because I'm looking for my people, right? And what I've noticed is, like, we're all on different parts of our journey, but there's a handful of us that are ready to take that next step. And because, not having that sacred space set up for them, they don't really reach out because they don't want to get back into everybody's drama and stuff because they've kind of come out of that. Now, there's other beautiful light workers and brothers and sisters that kind of like love sitting in that and helping coach people through that, right? So what is more of a highly advanced group of people who really have that synergy, put that energy together, and can really expand on things. And not only that, but just collectively create a higher frequency than most people down here can even fathom right now.
Yeah. Yep. Well, I don't like doing personal sessions personally when somebody is like stuck in the sting and they just want somebody to take it away from them. And I found a lot of that going on, a lot of the not willingness to go within. That's in the past, but like spirit moved me up and out of that one. And I was really grateful for that. And it's like, I will give it away or be with somebody or talk to people and help. And I'll do any work that I'm guided to do that spirit tells me to do. You know what I mean? It's like, if somebody needs Reiki, it's going to come out. I won't say, I don't do Reiki anymore. No, it is beyond Reiki. Yes, it is. But if spirit says, put your hands on someone's back or they need help, ask them and then do it. You know, you share because you care and you're listening. It's spirit led. That's what it's all about.
And I think for a recreational standpoint, I feel like someone who's had the ego death and someone who's risen the phoenix would be a perfect candidate for the calling.
Okay. All right. So go check Derek's video out, you guys. It's the last one over on his YouTube channel, and subscribe. And then Bev and Devs and whatever. Bev and Derek's.
I kind of like Dev now.
Dev. That is cool, huh?
Bev DeVell.
I love combining, making new names.
What is your last name, Bev? If you don't mind me asking.
Morrison.
Morrison. Okay.
Yeah.
And you don't like cats. Huh. Go figure.
What certain ones?
Hey, you can't hold that against her. We already covered that. If it's multidimensional,
it is.
Yeah,
I know.
I have a pretty kitty. We'll have to bring her on the screen one time soon. But she's very multidimensional, and it's very interesting. But I've had some stupid cats too. So
yeah, the special ones. I have special ones, and the other ones, I can take it or leave them.
Like, you know, a cat that acts like a dog, right? And they follow you around. And
yep.
Yeah,
I had a
there's
cat
other
like that.
ones like you say something, they just look at you and they're like, the hell with you. It's like, and then in the middle of the night, they want to come sit on your face and get pet. It makes sense.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go. Quit
Exactly.
letting me go on tangents.
And with that, guys, just be a little bit better today than you were yesterday.
Absolutely.
And don't be food. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time, everybody.
Peace.
Bye.